Well, good morning, everybody. Well, good morning if that happened. If you're possibly watching this in proximity to when I'm posting it, it's Sunday morning, and I'm about to do my first newscast of the day for my principal employer, USA Radio Networks, USA Radio News. You know, as heard on hundreds of fine radio stations across America. So I'm about to do it, and I was like, I'm doing these videos and everything, and I see how people are like doing all sorts of tutorials and things that nobody ever sat around and watched before, but now we're all shut in. So there's actually a market or interest in things, and I'm trying to find like the nugget, the idea, and I put up the videos where I just talk about anything that comes to mind. And some people watched them. I did a live video last night, and people actually tuned in for a while. I went on for an hour and a half. The audience was gone after 10 minutes, but I still just went on for an hour and a half. So anyway, I thought this morning as I'm doing this, I don't have the wherewithal to be able to like introduce screens where I show you how I actually edit the material or anything like that. But I thought that I'd let you I'd tear the curtain away, and you can, since the radio newscasts I do for the network they're recorded, and then they get loaded to an FTP site. I'm already tearing the curtain away because I'm telling you that they're not technically live, but within 15 minutes of when they have to air. I have to get them over to an FTP site, and then they go out on the bird, as we say in the business. They go out on the satellite. So I'll let you share in my production of a first block of what's actually a 3-block newscast, but you really don't need, you're not going to, once you see the first block, you'll be kind of like, oh, well, that was interesting, and you'll want to move on anyway. So I'm just going to, record the first block that I'm doing here, and I don't know if you care, but there'll be some asides because I'll probably have to, I'm not a one-take Willie, as some people in the business call it. I'll probably start to do the newscast, and I'll jumble a word, and I'll be like, oh, shit, So you'll see the outtakes. Also, by the way, I've been trying to figure out how I'm usually not bespectacled when I'm sitting here doing my videos because I like to just look you in the eye. But when I have to see something on my screen that's critical, I need to wear the glasses. So I've been sitting here, and it's so funny, as if anybody cares about the production value of this thing. I'm sitting here, and I'm looking, and it was like more than ever. I'm going like, wow, my glasses are giving off glare. I need to figure out what that problem is. I thought it was the TV at first because I got a big TV right in front of me. So I turned the TV off, and it didn't change anything. And then I turned different lights on and off around. I was getting up and down from this little seat that I sit in to do these things. I was getting up. I was turning this. Okay, turn this light on. Turn this light off. Sit down. Check it again. No, my glasses are still all glary. And then it finally dawned on me that the reason my glasses are glary is it's because of the screen. It's because of the damn computer screen in front of me. Because look, it's like when I do this, you can see my eyes, right? You can see my eyes. Like, well, see, this is already giving it away. See, you see my eyes? And then I do this, and I look like a state trooper. I look like a motorcycle cop. But anyway, yeah, it's the thing on my, it's the screen. So anyway, let's do this thing. You're already bored. You're already out of here probably. Yeah, it's just taken me 4 minutes to just set up this whole thing. If you thought you were just going to get a real quick, well, let's see how Chris Barnes does a newscast. That has not happened. But here we go. And this is actually going to go out later, a little bit later in this 6 o'clock hour, Eastern time. I will send it to the FTP site, and we'll go up to the bird, as I say, and it will air at 7 Eastern on hundreds of fine radio stations across America. So let's see how it goes. All right. Now, if I end up doing this in one take, first of all, it'll be history making, which is another reason I'll be happy to have the video that documented the fact that I didn't have to do a second take. But forgive me, because that's kind of what I'm doing. Is I thought maybe you might get a kick out of the way this whole thing gets produced. But who knows? I might do it. I might do it right. Now, to save a little time, I'm going to be using the proverbial soundbite that I have written into the story. And you can't hear that, but it's W issued a video yesterday asking the. Well, you'll hear it in the newscast. Why am I telling you ahead of time? You just hang on and listen to the news, and I'll tell you why George W. Bush issued a thing. But I just need to save time. I'm going to do it now. I have to get the soundbite copy. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Wish me luck. Now, there is a big splashy intro, with a whole bunch of, I'll actually, well, can I play it now? Here, I can. Hang on. This is not going the way I planned, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. If you want to go, I understand. But you won't hear this because as I produce the thing, it doesn't play out of a speaker, obviously. But, I mean, the big intro is... USA Radio News with Chris Barnes. Hi, I'm Chris Barnes, and you're all fucked because we've got coronavirus. No, anyway... Wouldn't it be funny if I did that? I always think about what would happen. It's kind of like the old joke, where people talk about, what, like they're sitting in church and they say to themselves, I wonder what would happen if I was to just jump up in the middle of the homily and start spewing a bunch of profanity. Well, I think I know what would happen these days. You might get shot. But anyway, okay, so here we go. The last thing I should have done is made myself start to laugh just as I'm trying to do this because it's only going to make it take forever. I sometimes wonder if my Middle America listeners, when I record these newscasts, can hear the birds. I have the window open behind me, and the birds are chirping and everything. Hopefully it does not become that notable. Well, lots of anchors are coming from their homes these days. I mean, I listen to CBS at the top of the hour on a local radio station, and they're all admitting it. It's like, I'm Deborah Rodriguez from upstate New York every day. That's what she says. So obviously it's like saying I'm at my house. But here we go. I do say that a lot, don't I? Here we go, and then we never go. I always say here we go, and then we never go. Okay, we're gonna go this time. Here we go. America's waking up to another day of the battle against coronavirus, as some are also battling some of the steps being taken to fight it. There were again protests in many cities and states yesterday against governors' stay-at-home orders. Meanwhile, the U.S. death toll has surpassed 65,000, with the number of confirmed cases in the nation surpassing 1.1 million as of Friday night. Worldwide, the virus has claimed more than 242,000 lives. A former president urging Americans to serve their neighbors by separating from them. This is where I stopped down. I wasn't recording it. I was recording it for your purpose. Like, I was recording the video, but I wasn't recording on my recording device. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, let's do it again. We'll chalk that up to practice. We'll chalk that one up to rehearsal. All right. And it's not going to be any different now. Hopefully I get through it again without multiple takes, but here we go again. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. America's waking up to another day of the battle against the coronavirus, as some are also battling some of the steps that are being taken to fight it. There were, again, protests in many cities and states yesterday against stay-at-home orders. Meanwhile, the U.S. death toll has surpassed 65,000, with the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the nation surpassing 1.1 million as of Friday night. Worldwide, the virus has claimed over 242,000 lives. A former president urging Americans to serve their neighbors by separating from them. All right, so now we did that. And this is where I take the George W. cut and paste it in. Okay. George W. is now in my newscast. George W. is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that... my time calculations are off. I had more verbiage that was I'm not going to be able to fit in this first block because the first block of this newscast. Essentially, it's a 1 minute first block, and some stations only take the first block. Some stations, if you want to take the whole 5 minute deal, it means you're taking the first block, you're taking the minute long commercial, you're taking the second block, which is a full minute. You take a 30-second commercial, and then it's a minute and a half, third block. Now, we have a lot of stations that take our product, but they just take the first block, or they take the first and second block. But in any case, it's critical to get your timing right in that first block because you want to put whatever the top story is. But you really, in fact, don't have a minute. You only have 53 seconds because by the time that thing plays, here's Chris USA Radio News with Chris Barnes, I end up getting left with like 52 seconds to actually do the news. And it's hard to put the top story. You want to have multiple stories in the first block. You don't just want to do one story. It's like some stations are only taking that one block. You want to make people feel, as I put it, you want the listener to feel full, like they got a fair amount of news. If they're going to have to sit through the news, whether they care about it or not, at least give them some significant information, which means try to squeeze at least two stories in to that first block. So you get left with 53 seconds or 52 or 53 seconds to actually do it, and it's kind of a challenge. So I realize now I've been left with the inability to read some of what I wanted to include, but I can I also edit out. I'm editing right now. I'm editing out some of my breaths in the wave file. Hang on. You don't want to overdo it because people it'll sound like you've edited the breaths out, and then, like I say, even routine listeners might know that you're not live. But I think I did those pretty well. I'm pretty happy with this thing so far. I think it's going to be a big hit, ladies and gentlemen. People across America are going to go, did you hear Chris Barnes' 7 o'clock Eastern Time news this morning? Whoa, that was really something, wasn't it? Okay, so there's the George W. cut, and I now have 6 seconds to fill. All right, let's see how I do. That's from a 3-minute video released by George W. Bush's presidential library in which he urges people to lay down their political differences as the country deals with the virus. This is USA Radio News. Now, I can do that, and if I went a little bit over... If I went just a teensy bit over, I will take a few more of my breaths out. And if I went too far over, I will pare down. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work. Hang on, let's hear what George said, because maybe I can shorten his bite.
The larger challenge we share is to confront an outbreak of fear and loneliness. And it is frustrating that many of the normal tools of compassion, a hug, a touch, can bring the opposite of the good we intend. That's from a 3-minute video released by George W. Bush's president.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna alter that and just
By separating from them. And it is frustrating that many of the normal tools of compassion.
that works by itself.
That's from a 3-minute video.
Okay, so here we go. Double checking the time. 52 seconds on the nose. 52 seconds on the nose, ladies and gentlemen. I figured it out. So now I just have to insert into multi-track, put it in the thing, move that over there, and now we're going to mix down entire session. Going to normalize it. Going to pop the volume up one tick there. We'll do that, and we're ready to go. I'm going to label it before I accidentally lose it. 7001. And that has to go. All right, 7001. We do that. We click that. And here we go. Here we go. And I know you just heard it, but here's the final product, ladies and gentlemen.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
America's waking up to another day of the battle against the coronavirus, as some are also battling some of the steps that are being taken to fight it. There were, again, protests in many cities and states yesterday against stay-at-home orders. Meanwhile, the U.S. death toll has surpassed 65,000, with the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the nation. Anyway, you get the idea. I was just doing that. I was kind of like, well, first of all right, Chris, we heard you. All right, shut up. I was kind of like, I think Chris Barnes lip syncs his newscasts. Yeah, he's not really doing them. He's lip syncing his newscasts. But anyway, so that's kind of me just doing my thing. People have, I've told people how many times that I'm so lucky to do all these important radio jobs from home. And you know how I do them? Just like that. And I'm usually, if I'm not talking to you, I'm just talking to myself or talking to the cat, who, again, if you've watched my previous video, the cat is always right next to me here. You know, people say cats are aloof or aren't friendly like dogs are. I'm telling you, this cat never not pressed up against me. I mean, which is a little, and with the COVID-19 thing, I've heard that cats can actually get it. So it's a little bit, I've been arguing with her that we need to social distance, but she won't have it. I don't know. She just never gets it. So anyway, so that's me doing the news on a Sunday morning. And I don't know why. I don't know why I chose to put this out there, but I'm trying new ideas. I was like, maybe somebody would be interested in watching me produce a part of my newscast. But anyway, probably not. Unless you are still watching, which I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know why you would be. But that was it. If you happen to be there, I should say a formal adieu. I'll take my glasses off now so I don't look like a motorcycle cop. Anyway, have a great rest of the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll probably be posting something else soon, so get ready to make that decision of whether you want to click on it or not. Anyway, hope you're well. Thanks.